In the glittering world of Hollywood's golden age, Joan Crawford was an enigma, an icon whose dazzling facade concealed a darker truth. Behind the scenes of her illustrious career lay a narrative of alleged abuse and cruelty, unearthed in Christina Crawford's shocking autobiography, Mommie Dearest.
Yes, Mommie Dearest.
When I asked you to call me that, I wanted you to mean it.
Joan Crawford's New York Times obituary stated that Miss Crawford was a quintessential superstar, an epitome of timeless glamour who personified for decades the dreams and disappointments of American women. Join us this week as we take a look at Joan Crawford and her daughter's book that shocked Hollywood. During her nearly 5-decade career, Joan Crawford starred in some of the most widely praised films of her time. She received an Academy Award for Best Actress in a leading role in 1946 for her portrayal as a hardworking mother trying to provide for an ungrateful daughter in Mildred Pierce. 30 years later, Christina Crawford revealed how Joan's life had imitated art in ways her legions of fans could never have envisioned. Christina Crawford was the eldest of Joan's adopted children. Unable to have any children of her own, the actress adopted Christina in 1939, followed by Christopher in 1943, and 2 twin daughters, Catherine and Cynthia, in 1947. Joan Crawford had attempted to adopt a child prior to Christina, but he was reclaimed by his birth mother. Although 5 children saved from abandonment and brought in by one of the world's biggest actresses may have seemed like a real-life fairy tale, Christina Crawford claimed it was nothing less than a nightmare. In Christina Crawford's 1978 autobiography, Mommie Dearest, which would later be turned into a film starring Faye Dunaway, Christina revealed that far from being a generous and caring maternal figure, Joan was an alcoholic who physically and emotionally abused her adopted children. Christina described how she and Christopher bore the brunt of the abuse, with Christopher being strapped down into his bed with a harness each night so that he couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. In one chapter of the book, which would become the most famous scene in the movie, Christina recalled how Joan went into a blind rage after discovering a forbidden wire hanger in her daughter's closet one night. The Oscar-winning actress ripped the clothes off their hangers and flung them all onto the floor before seizing Christina by the hair. Christina Crawford recalled how, with one hand she pulled me by the hair, and with the other she cuffed my ears until they rang, all the while screaming,
No more hanger!
Before proceeding to destroy Christina's part of the room and then ordering her to clean up your mess. The autobiography became an immediate bestseller, and No More Wire Hangers has since been a pop culture staple. For many people, Joan Crawford will forever be associated as a deranged mother instead of a sophisticated star. The book and film became so popular that the stories of Joan Crawford's cruelty were in some ways accepted as fact. But many of the people closest to her were quick to jump to her defense and upend the stories of Christina Crawford, the aftermath of Mommie Dearest. One of Joan Crawford's staunchest defenders against the claims of Christian Crawford was actually her biggest rival, Bette Davis. The famous rivalry was often capitalized on for classic movie roles, like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which featured Crawford and Davis as bickering sisters. But even Davis, who was not Miss Crawford's biggest fan, dismissed Christina Crawford's claims. She said that the book was trash and declared it was a terrible, terrible thing for Christina to have done to someone who saved you from the orphanage, foster homes. Douglas Fairbanks Jr., Joan Crawford's former husband and movie star in his own right, also wholeheartedly dismissed Christina's accusations by stating that Joan beating her children would not only have been out of character, but she only used covered padded hangers. It wasn't only other Hollywood stars who came to Joan's defense, but also her other children. Catherine and Cynthia, Joan's adopted twin daughters, were heartbroken about their adopted sister's portrayal of their mother. Catherine stated that Christina lived in her own reality and that our mommy was the best mother anyone ever had. Catherine remembers Joan as an affectionate and caring mother who once rushed off a set in the middle of filming upon getting a call from Catherine's school that she had broken her wrist on the playground. Joan drove her daughter to the doctor herself, still in her full movie makeup, a far cry from Dunaway's portrayal of a violent and vain star. Joan herself never read the biography of Christina Crawford as it was published after she died, although she knew Christina had been writing it. A year before her death in 1976, she rewrote her will to exclude both Christina and Christopher. Ultimately, the truth about Joan Crawford's character remains elusive, obscured by the divergent perspectives of those who knew her intimately and those who witnessed her public persona. Perhaps the enduring fascination with Joan Crawford lies in the complexity of her legacy, serving as a reminder that behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, there are often layers of truth waiting to be uncovered. Join us next week as we delve into more lives and events. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps. And as always, thanks for watching.